Hi everyone. Hope you guys are having an amazing day and welcome to our March destination of the month, which is Saint Lucia. Woo woo! Oh my gosh, I've been so excited, especially for this month. There's so much to talk about. Definitely today we're going to dive into some of my top recommended hotels. Believe me, there's a ton of options. All of them have their own little gems and own little picks and things of that manner, but definitely that's why I'm here. That's why we're here. So obviously, as always, questions, anything you have, all the links are in the description below. Definitely reach out. We have had so many people reach out to us. Thank you for people who have questions, some of our clients, even people who are looking to host and plan their next retreat for their company or for their audience. So before I dive in, my name is Taishida. I am the founder of Luxury Travels by Dreamy Designer Events, where we curate elite vacations worldwide, as well as facilitate and also help you plan your own retreat so that you can rediscover, reconnect, and come back a better version of yourself. So I am so excited. St. Lucia is definitely one of the islands that's near and dear to me. My dad's side of the family, they're all from the island. I've been there a couple of times, definitely want to go back more. And honestly, there's so much to do while you're there. Hands down, it's just about planning it and doing it the way you want. Saint Lucia is known as the Hawaii of the Caribbean just because of the mountains, the lushness, all of that is definitely something that you can hop on board, you can enjoy, you can definitely be fully immersed in it. And honestly, it's one of those destinations where you go and you feel like you're at home regardless. So, on that note, let's dive in. Don't forget, as always, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel as well as this video so you can see all the different things we have coming up. Every month we do a different destination of the month. You'll also get different tips, inspiration, a little bit of different gems that we also do inspired to drop for you guys. Definitely stay tuned. We also do feature different founders and entrepreneurs each month as well. These are some phenomenal people who are doing some groundbreaking things in their industry, and definitely they have a story. They have product services that literally you can use, you can benefit from, or you may even know someone else that can use them as well. So, on that note, we're going to dive in. Today, I'm going to talk about the top recommended hotels that I recommend in San Lucia. There are so many places that you can go to, things of that manner. These are just a handful. When I say handful, I say that literally. They have all-inclusive resorts. They have not all-inclusive resorts. They have some that are closer to the town. There are also other ones that are a little bit more secluded, where if you want to get away for more of a wellness getaway where you're not connected to anything, you're not by anything, you're literally secluded on your own little area. You're still at a hotel or a resort, but you're literally for yoga, meditation, just for that true wellness so you can connect with yourself. They also do have the all-inclusive. So they have all-inclusive for adults. They also have all-inclusives for family friendly. These are resorts where pretty much once you enter the resort, everything's taken care of. So all your food, drinks, entertainment, activities, pretty much aside from the spa and if you want to buy anything on the hotel, everything's covered. Don't have to worry about anything. It's kind of like you're going away on vacation and truly you can disconnect. The other types are just regular. They have hotels and resorts that are not all inclusive, which they still have restaurants, they still have things that you can do on the resort, but it's literally giving you more if you're going to either spend more time off of the hotel, or sometimes people like to do that because if they do tours, if they're doing things that are somewhat on the hotel and some are off, you're not locked into having to feel like you're losing out on anything with the all inclusive. Even though a lot of people stay all inclusive, they do tours. It's just more for an ease of comfort. So I kind of put it this way to a lot of people. If you want to go away and you want to have like the option of like, okay, I have the option of if I want to buy anything to eat, I want the option of having to pay for anything to do, then you want to stay at all inclusive because even if you're like, I don't eat all three meals, or I depending on what you may drink, things of that manner. Even if that's like something that's not your forte, it's kind of like it's included. So it's optional if you're like, hey, I may want to go off the resort. do a tour, things of that manner. But you always know that the moment you step foot on there, you don't have to worry about paying for anything. So it's kind of like an ease where you can easily plan like, okay, I'm only bringing this amount of money because once I'm on the hotel, if I'm there for a few days or even a week, I don't have to worry about paying for anything. So that's always something to kind of think about. A lot of times too, when it comes to this island, I really have to hone in, and what my team and I do is really figure out what you're looking for and what you're looking to achieve. So, and I'll explain. So if you're going for like a vacation or you're just going for like a getaway, it depends on the type of experience. So if you're looking to stay more like closer to town because you know you're going to be going into town more, you want to have more of that local experience, things of that manner, there's certain resorts that are good for that. And then if you're looking for where you're like, we may explore, we may do tours, things of that manner, but we're probably going to be on the resort most of the time. Then there's other resorts that may be a little bit better that kind of can cater to more of what you're looking for. And also, if you're looking to do a retreat, it's depending on what your focus point is. So, if you're trying to do a retreat where you're like, I want people to completely disconnect, make sure everything's covered and included, they don't have to worry about anything once they're there. Again, there's certain resorts that are phenomenal for that, and that can definitely give you that full experience so you can really connect to make sure their retreat or even your conference and events, because people do host them as well, are completely covered. And then also you have more of like that wellness where you're like, if people have to pay for anything while they're there, that's perfectly fine. But the ideal is you want more of a five-star experience that's more 100% luxury, wellness, meditation, yoga, disconnected. So like literally you're trying to hone in more into your internal spiritual meditation, all of that. Again, that's why I said this island, they have almost whichever type of experience you're looking for, you could find it. It's more so just making sure that you're in the right location, you're at the right hotel, you're at the right destination that can cater to what you're looking for. And as I always tell people too, there's a lot of other things to kind of like take, I should say, note of as well. Because so like typically your major airport that you will fly into, a lot of where the hotels are can be anywhere from about an hour and a half to 2 hours from the airport. So again, it goes back to it's not like you're making this drive every day. You're making it to go to your hotel, and then you're at the hotel, and then you're making it to come back. So really, in reality, it's not that bad. However, it's very mountainous island, so a lot of their streets are you're either going up the mountain, things of that manner. Not like you have to worry about it. You're not driving it. You'll have transportation, all that stuff included. So you can still be on vacation. You're just like, hey, you know where I'm going. You got me. But I always like to tell people that because if people, for one, are not comfortable with that long of a drive, they do have some hotels that are a little bit closer. However, it goes back to the same thing where if you're staying even at a hotel that's a little bit closer, if you're doing any tours, anything that, seeing the island, things that matter, you may have a little bit more further drive. Or I also tell people this too, because if they're trying to compare it and they're like, hey, these are my possible list of destinations, and not driving over a certain amount of time is just like that's just like a deal breaker. At least you know in advance so that you're not, oh, you get this and then they, hey, we have this amount of time to get to the hotel. You're like, really? And also I always tell people too, if there are people who have limited mobility and they can't physically be in a car that long or in a transportation that long, again, these are all things to know in advance so that you can make sure that whether it's just a couple people going or a big group, that everyone is either in advance, or you can easily, if you know it in the beginning, you may have to shift gears just so that you're being able to plan and book everything accordingly so you don't run into any problems. Another thing I always tell people is with the Caribbean, we've talked about this before, is seasonality. So most of the time throughout the year, you're going to get pretty nice weather, decent things of that manner. With the Caribbean, regardless, I always tell people, just be careful. Hurricane season is also a big thing that always tell people about. It's always one of those things where it's like you can be mindful of. Sometimes I always tell people just to make sure if you want to play it on the safe side, just make sure you get travel protection so you have some level of protection regardless. Believe me, personal experiences and also my clients, I've had to use it on both ways of trying to go somewhere and also being somewhere and having to get back, or having to stay longer in a destination because I couldn't fly back, and then all those additional expenses or money lost. So definitely, hands down, it's something I highly recommend. But for the Caribbean, so the general thing, hurricane season is actually very broad. It's during the most popular time when people typically travel. So it's normally between June and like end of October-ish, give or take. However, it's more heightened the end of August through early October. That's just when it's more heightened, which means that's when, if you ever like, as the years have gone, like in September, you'll have like, there's like two or three different hurricanes brewing at the same time, and things of that manner. Doesn't mean that each of them are going to hit each of the different islands. It just means that that's just how the weather is now. Anyone who knows our weather obviously is unpredictable, which I always tell people, this is why you want to get travel protection, because in those things where they're like, oh, we never get this type of weather this time of year. However, if it happens, it happens. You can't really control it. However, it's one less thing you have to worry about, especially if you're looking into flight delays, flight cancellations, the hotel being like, well, people are still coming in here, but how you have to fly over, it could be affecting wherever the storms. You just never know. And that's just the hurricane side of it with that weather. It depends on where you're coming from, where you're flying over, because if you're traveling during the wintertime, if you're either coming from somewhere that snows a lot, or if you have to fly over places that may have a winter storm, ice, all that stuff, that's always things to worry about. Spring and so late winter, more like springish, early summer. The biggest thing you're probably going to be is more like rain. And again, that goes based off of rainstorms, all of that. That can always delay it. Sometimes it may not affect it and you just may have some turbulence. However, I always tell people just be on the air of caution, because you also could be perfectly fine where you are weather-wise, but also the destination you're traveling, they're experiencing something. So it's a lot of different factors, moving components, but just things to be aware of. So in that goes, let's get back. We're going to dive into some of the top hotels that I recommend. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of them. I always tell people I love talking to you guys, our team, the different emails that we've been getting, all that stuff has been amazing. But like I said, there's a ton of hotels. It's just more so catering it down to the one that fits you and what you're looking to go for. So let's go in, and I can't wait to show you. And here we are with Saint Lucia, my top 4 hotels. Honestly, the island itself is very lush. That if people have ever traveled to Florida or even some other places, that is kind of the island where like in the morning, if you wake up and it's like looks like it's pouring rain, don't let that deter the rest of your day's plans, because 9 times out of 10, a half an hour later, if not less, or even an hour later, it's gonna look like it never rained. So definitely. Also, summertime can definitely get quite hot. So I always tell people, just plan accordingly, things of that manner. But thankfully, since you are surrounded by water and things of that manner, you still get that breeze. However, the humidity, it can definitely vary. But it's definitely one of those destinations where there's so many things to do, so many things to see. And the resorts do a phenomenal job of making sure that you're pretty much taken care of and you don't have to worry about anything. So, going into our first hotel, which is the Royalton Resort and Spa in St. Lucia. This one is one of the ones that, like I was saying before, is relatively closer to almost about 2 hours away from the airport, give or take, depending on how traffic is and things of that manner. But it is located right on the beach. You have some amazing views of the mountains. It's also nice because it also is one of the all-inclusive resorts. So food, drinks, activities, entertainment. The ideal of it is money's optional once you get there. It's not mandatory. With this one is nice. It's a family-friendly resort. They do have another section which has an adults only part to it. So a lot of times if groups are going, or even if you're going for a conference, an event, anything of that manner, and it's nice because you can have people who go have kids, they can stay on one side, and people want like the more of the only experience, they can stay on the other side. The adult only ones, they can come over to the family friendly, just not vice versa. However, itself, it's really nice. So if people who've never been to St. Lucia, or if you've been and you didn't experience it, they have a lot of things in town that you can do. So the hotels are actually really good with facilitating if you want to take a taxi, if you want to go down to like Rodney Bay or go down to like in town, do some shopping. You can easily do that. And the nice thing about it is either the hotel or even the taxi, they can let you know, like, hey, this is my number. When you're ready to come back, just give me a call. It makes it very easy because if you're like, hey, we're almost ready, you can call them. They'll meet you at the same spot where they dropped you off, and you don't have to worry about it. So it's really nice. It makes it a lot more ease and comfort while you're there, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, look at these rooms. These rooms are amazing. And even from your like standard entry level room, which is their junior suites, it's very nice. It's very modern. It's very clean, but it gives you vacation vibes and it gives you like, I may or may not want to leave experience. So definitely hands down, they have a lot of different variations of their rooms and their views, but you definitely know no matter how you look at it, you're going to get a nice accommodations. You get the housekeeping, you get all of it to make sure that you're on vacation and you're being taken care of. And if you're even if you're at even if you're at like what do you call it, like a retreat or things of that manner, you can still disconnect and still enjoy while you're there because you are treated like, you. So they have restaurants, multiple restaurants on the facility, which the best part about an all-inclusive is all of them are included. They have an amazing spa, which the spa isn't included. However, they do have a lot of different packages you can do so that if you want to pamper yourself or have like a me day, you can definitely do that. Or if you're going away for a special occasion, anniversary, birthday, you can definitely make sure you're being catered to. And also they have the gym because sometimes people like to take their routine on vacation with them, or also too, it gives them more of that wellness experience. So their gym is very nice. They have all the different things you would need. And, it still have an amazing view at the same time. The next hotel is Zoetry. So Zoetry is actually throughout. They have different locations throughout the Caribbean. This one is definitely more of your wellness resort. And I tell people like, so while you're here, it's very more like low key. Like if you want to go read a book, sit by the pool, kind of have some more like just you time, not a ton of activities and events and stuff like that like are going to be happening at the hotel, but it's really made more for like you wanting to kind of just zone out. You like to hear the sounds, with the ocean and the trees and all of that. You like to just kind of meditate in where you are, be by the pool. You don't want to be bothered. All of that stuff. Dojis are also known as one of like more of a luxury experience, so they're higher, but it's more of a luxury experience because of the accommodations and quality you're getting. Not like if you're looking to go party and nightlife and all that stuff, this is not the resort for you, but it is if you want to kind of I just want to be maybe on my balcony reading a book by the pool, listening to some music, like, headphones, listening to music, or just kind of zoning out. This is the perfect destination for you. This is their rooms. The rooms gives you more of like that traditional, like warm Caribbean vibe. So you see like the browns and the dark colors, things of that manner. And a lot of their rooms also do have different views between the mountains as well as a lot of the tropical greenery. So you can still kind of even be in your room and just like, look out and still be at zoned with yourself. Again, it goes all back to wellness, meditation, all of that stuff to kind of just hone you into you. This resort also is all inclusive. So again, once you're there, everything's included. It's just, if you want to do any excursions, tours, everything off of the resort, you would be paying for that. Same concept. They have the restaurants, the spas, and they really are good for hosting like meetings, especially if you have like a small group, whether it's a conference or more of an intimate setting for like a retreat. But again, I always tell people because this is one of those where we typically have to like kind of see what your needs are for what you're looking to experience. Because if you are having a few people come, whether it's a retreat or even an event, you have to also hone in on what you're looking to do space out for each day. Because again, it's definitely more of like I'm trying to zone in, not necessarily like entertainment vibes, things of that manner. However, it is nice if you're just like, hey, we just want a speed meeting space that's going to be pretty much quiet. We'll have our, presentations, things of that manner, and our own agendas. But outside of that, people are literally looking to just be to themselves, be in their rooms, by the pool, just enjoying all of the surrounding experiences while they're at the resort itself. So now we are going to Sandals. So Sandals is actually such it's actually a really amazing hotel itself. So if I can kind of like put it in like if I had to put it in like maybe one or two sentences. It is a luxurious, adults only, full experience that you are taken care of from the moment you enter the resort. And I say that because Sandals actually has three different resorts on Saint Lucia. Each of them have like different criteria, different tiers, things of that manner. The Grand is their highest of the three that is on the island. But it's one of those, which I kind of say their brand, which they're throughout the Caribbean as well. But their brand is, you're getting the same quality at each and every hotel you stay at. Not only are the people who work there are personally trained, they do have trainings each year on hospitality, making sure you are taken care of regardless. One thing I will say with the Sandals is they have a ton for people who've stayed there, people who haven't, they have a ton of room options. However, normally with their club level or higher is where you will be able to do like you'll have like room service. I say room service based food be able to have more like butler experience, things of that manner. This is not the resort. Most resorts, kind of like the Royalton, they have room service that's included regardless of where your room category. For Sandals, you have to be in certain room categories to actually have like room service. Also, you'll have also butler service in them, and you'll see them on the tiers that they have. But honestly, they have so many different restaurants. They're located right on the beach. 9 times out of 10, if you're like, it doesn't make a difference, you have full access to everything once you leave your hotel room. So they'll have the food, they have the entertainment, they have different theme nights. They do have stuff that happens in the evening, during the day. They have things to make sure you're also being involved. They'll have things by the pool. So definitely it's really nice, and it's adults only. So typically with a lot of adults only, you are going to get an extra step of luxury because they don't have to worry about the wear and tear with kids. However, it is more of a couples resort. You don't have to be a couple to go to these type of resorts. However, all of their rooms are king size beds. And on top of that, they just kind of, the vibe itself, like people have gone and they haven't been couples. And it doesn't make a difference too much. But you can either do, obviously, you can just do the one room and then share a bed, or you can do two separate rooms. However, a lot of their different things that you'll see is a little bit more couple oriented on the resorts, but it's not that you can't go if you're not. Another thing too, if you're celebrating anything, celebrating an anniversary, a honeymoon, a birthday, any type of celebration they do it right. They make sure that they have it, even if you're at like a restaurant, they make sure you know that you're celebrating something and that it did not go missed. On top of that, too, they do have also different small other amenity packages that you can do to make it kind of like an added, experience, whether it's something in the room, whether it's something at the restaurant. They even have certain things they can do around the resort to put, so that it like so and so's happy birthday to so and so. So there's a lot of things to make sure that you have the full experience, but that that they also care about you. Their rooms are very spacious. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything from their entry level room, very big, very spacious. Obviously, the higher you go up, the room views change as well as the spacing on there. And then they do have their club level as well as their butler suites. And those are the ones that are kind of grand. Some of them have private pools, private jacuzzis, things of that manner. But honestly, no matter how you look at it, you can't miss a beat. So these are some of their facilities. They have a lot of restaurants. The nice thing about the Sandals is if you stay at the Sandals Grand, you do have access to the other Sandals as well. Be honest with you, depending on how long you're staying, you're probably may not even go to some of the other resorts. Or if you are staying a good amount of time, you may want to like pop in and say, okay, which ones are at the other ones and make reservations. A lot of their restaurants are, a lot of them they do have reservations for. Some of them are not, doesn't have to have reservations. But I always tell people anything that has a reservation, I recommend when you first get there to make the reservations with them at the hotel. You can always change it or modify it later, but at least it's set versus the day of, and you're like, oh, let's go here. And then you can't because they don't have any spacing for that day or you're on like a wait list. Same, they have their amazing spa, which actually a lot of their products they actually do sell as well. Phenomenal, hands down. And they are really, really well with weddings, vow renewals, all of that. They do also do a lot of, so like if anyone's having an event or a conference, and whether it's like a couples retreat or even just doing something where they're gonna have other people come to like it. So it's like some like family reunions, things in that manner. Just to keep in mind, it is adults only, and they don't have like anything where it's like adults only and family friendly. This Sandals is strictly just adults only. So if you are doing an event, it would only have to be adults attending, no kids, no anyone that is not. Just to be mindful of. And lastly, which is also one of their newer resorts, which is Secret Saint Lucia. I was actually very, very excited for this one to actually debut. Honestly, I love Secrets brands. Actually, they have them throughout the Caribbean and different islands, and they're all very phenomenal. They are also adults only. However, they're adults only, not couples only. So I'll explain. That means friends can go, families can go, adult kids can go, couples can go. Like you can have a good time with whoever wants to go along if they're an adult. But it's really nice because they have entertainment, they have activities. They kind of, if you want some good quality food, if you want to like hang out by the pool, they have, no matter what your type of vibe is, they do it. This is also the newest one, and I say newest like very new, like it's either just open or it's opening, but it's opening this year. They've been talking about this for the past few years. So excited when I found out they were bringing one to St. Lucia. I am very excited. My next time I go, I'm definitely going to be staying here. But definitely so excited. I have so much more information. Definitely, if you want to schedule a call in the link below, you can definitely schedule it because there's so much information on it. I can't just even talk about it, even within this particular call. So their rooms itself, I love Secrets. Honestly, their rooms are very spacious. They're very clean. They're very like where you like sit like lay in their bed and you're just like, ooh, do I really want to go anywhere? Things of that matter. But definitely they have so many different views. They have everything from your tropical view, which is like your greenery, your trees. They have partial ocean view, ocean front, and then they go beyond. So definitely you can't go wrong. And definitely the quality here. I just really like their type of brand because no matter who's going, so whether you're going with friends, with family, no matter who is getting away, there's something for everybody. But no matter how you look at it, everyone's going to have an amazing experience. And same as all the other ones, they have the restaurants, spa, and they have wedding services, but they also do have a lot of event meeting spaces. So they also do have it where whether you're having a conference, a retreat, anything of that manner, they can cater to you regardless. So on that note, definitely this is one definitely check out. If you want to know more information, I have a ton of information on it. I'm so excited. So definitely stay tuned. And on that note, that concludes our top hotels for St. Lucia. I love talking about like the different resorts, everything in that manner. Definitely, if you've been before, if you want to go, let me know a place you want to stay or that you stayed before. And as always, in the link in the description below, you will see all the links to how to connect with us, how to learn more, everything of that manner. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe so you get all of the information we're going to be having coming out during the month, each month, and beyond. Okay? Well, until next time, I will talk to you guys and have an amazing day. Bye.